Let's get ready to rumble. We're talking East Coast, West Coast. Let's go. Some of these costs are outrageous. Let's talk about it. Hi everyone, my name is Matt Swerk and I'm a local real estate expert right here in Massachusetts with the Legacy Star team powered by Keller Williams. Now, if this is the first time you've come to our YouTube channel and you want to know what it's like to eat, sleep, drink, play, and what the cost of living in Boston versus Los Angeles is, then you're definitely going to want to subscribe to our channel, click the little bell so every time we make a new video you're going to be notified. Now, we're having lots of fun making these videos. It's really cool because we actually have people reaching out to saying, can you make a video on this and make a video on this? So remember, you have questions about Massachusetts, we have answers. We want to be your resource. How do you do it? You give us a call, you give us a text, you send us an email. When it comes to Massachusetts, we've got your back. All right, so today we're going to be talking about the differences of living in Boston, Massachusetts versus Los Angeles, California. It was very interesting. We were doing some research on this just to find out. And as we go through some of these categories, it's really funny because you'll see some of the percentage differences being like, I have some data here where, some things are low as far as 6% higher. There's others that are 20% higher. And the numbers are not really different as far as we go through this. However, every penny counts, and as we add up over time, we'll see how some of these costs really are outrageous on one side versus the other. So, lots of data today, so we have lots of data on the sheet to talk about. I was going to go overall as far as the cost of living, but I think it's more fun just to really get into the meat and potatoes. And no pun intended on this, but we're definitely talking beverages and we're talking food right away. We're not going to talk about some of my favorite things here from Massachusetts, so we'll spare you the details on that. Check out the other videos and what the common threads are. So when it comes to restaurants, we like to just kind of talk about some of the overall meals. And if you're just going out there for some very inexpensive restaurant, it's interesting. Like I said, there's a 10% difference, which doesn't seem like a lot because if you're out in California, you're going to spend about $20 for an inexpensive restaurant. Over here in Boston, you're spending about $10. Right? As far as two people going out for a mid-course meal, you're looking very, very similar in the two cities. Out in California, you're looking at about $75 per couple going out, or here in Boston, you're looking at about $75. So not a huge difference there, 3%, not too bad. Couple things I thought was interesting as far as beer is concerned. Here in Massachusetts, we average about $7 for a domestic pint of beer, where over on the other side they're paying $6.50. So it doesn't seem like a lot as far as numbers are concerned, but it's actually we are more expensive here in Boston. It's about 7.69% higher, right? So I think that's an interesting stat. So we're going to toss the papers. We're talking paper today. Again, as far as beer is concerned, we're going to talk imports. Over on the other side of the coast, they're spending about $8. We get a little bit cheaper. It's only $7.75. So we kind of edge them out by 3% as far as the cost of drinking beer. Here's an interesting thing. A 12-ounce or a 16-ounce bottle of soda, very, very similar. Over in California, we're only paying 1 cent more. So we're pretty even on that. So no one wins or loses in that race. As far as water is concerned, sorry Californians, you're paying more. You're paying about $2 a bottle of water. We only have to pay $1.87. So that's actually a 6.5% difference. Now, as far as here's a really fun one, and I'm excited to kind of go through these as a side-by-side comparison. This is if you go grocery shopping, what are you going to expect to pay? And some of these actually shocked me when I saw the difference as far as price was concerned. So sidebar, lactose intolerant. I don't drink a lot of milk. My family does. Here in Massachusetts, we're spending about $3.36 per gallon on average. Over in California, you guys are paying more, $3.86. As far as bread is concerned, if you see my belly, I eat lots of it. So we get away with it pretty cheap here. It's only $2.85 for a loaf. Over in California, you guys are definitely paying a lot more, $3.38, right? That's a 15% difference living in California. As far as eggs, this one was shocking to me. This one, California pays almost 25% more for a dozen eggs. So over on the other side, they're paying $3.46 per average. Over here, we're only paying $2.62. So I'm excited that I eat lots of eggs and I live in Massachusetts. As far as cheese is concerned, a little bit of a difference here. It doesn't seem much. Over in Massachusetts, we're paying about $6.53. California is $5.61. Doesn't seem like a big gap. Again, it's 16% difference. So over time, all these differences are going to add up. A couple other ones I want to hit upon, which I thought was interesting. Apples, right? How you like them apples? We're paying for a pound of apples, it's about $2.55. Goodwill Hunting reference for those of you who never heard that before. Tyler's over here laughing, shaking his head, saying, I can't believe you just said that. So anyway, so that's enough about food. I think it's really interesting, though, just to see the biggest differences as far as some of the costs are concerned. And we'll dig down deep at some other point in time and figure out why. Now, as far as transportation is concerned, we have a lot of public transportation. We have our train line, we have our bus lines. Go back to a different video, and we'll show you what that looks like. Here, it's called the MBTA. So, a one-way ticket on average here in Massachusetts, as far as Boston's concerned, it's about $2.70 for that trip. Out in California, with their system, it's only about $1.75. So, we're actually paying almost 55% more for public transportation. This is interesting as far as monthly passes as far as public transportation. It's only about a 10% difference. So California's spending $100, we're spending $90, right? When I was doing research, I came up with taxi information, and I started looking at this, and we're not going to talk about taxis. It's not that exciting. And the reason why I want to discredit it is you have so many ride share places out there now. So I feel bad for the taxi drivers. I should, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you quick. We're spending a little bit more money here in Boston for taxis. That's it. As far as gas is concerned, California, drink it away. You guys are spending a lot of money on your gas, right? $3.58 a gallon. Whoa, right? We're spending $2.50 a gallon. So there's a 30% difference there. And if you drive a pickup truck like me, that's expensive. All right, so I'm glad I drive a truck in Massachusetts. Now, as far as the kind of more cost of living, if you will, we just did just a very quick study as far as utilities were concerned. So, if just for a small apartment, you're looking at electricity, heating, cooling, water, garbage. We're expensive over here. It's about $175 for our average here in Boston, and then over in California, it's about $1.34. So about a 28% difference. Not huge. My wife always makes fun of me when she watches these videos. She said, don't talk about Boston being expensive. I'm like, it is what it is. Can't escape it. So, as far as health and fitness is concerned, it's interesting. We spend a lot more money here as far as health and fitness. I'm envisioning all those beaches over there and everybody working out on the beaches in California. However, per month, we're spending almost $62 a month on our memberships, where California is only spending about $41. So we spend a lot more, and maybe it's because we have we have to have more heat in there, more air conditioning. I don't know, but it's definitely more expensive to work out here in Massachusetts. This was really surprising to me. We were talking childcare, and for a preschool, full day for a month for one child. Out in California, it's just about $1,040 a month, right? Here in Massachusetts, and I'll tell you 100% is true because I have two children, it's almost $1,800. So I got to back it up a little bit. It's more close to $1,700. However, it's $1,754 for childcare. So we're spending almost 70% more to take care of our children here in Massachusetts than people are in California. What does that mean? I don't know. We're not going to bring up that whole thing. So anyway, the next thing we're going to talk about is our clothing, and I'm going to give you some data here that I really shouldn't, but I'm going to talk some dresses, which I don't usually wear or at all. But dresses. This is some of your basic things like Zahara and just H&M. Very similar costs. It's out in California. It's just a 3% difference. For and this sounds really strange to me, but for a summer dress, you're spending $38.56. Here in Massachusetts, we're spending $37.50. $37.41. So I definitely got to talk to my wife to go shopping there, because some of the things that she buys is not $37.41. So we love a bargain. Anyway, nice pair of Levi's, 501 Blues here in Massachusetts, where it's a little bit over $47. Out in California, it's a little bit over $52. So to clothe yourself in California, with your 501 jeans, about a 10% difference. As far as running shoes are concerned, we definitely expect a royalty from Nike, because we're going to bring up their brand. So the out in Massachusetts, we're spending more money. So that's why I want a royalty from you, Nike. So anyway, trademark branded, we're legal. $80 for a nice pair of sneaks. Out in California, a little bit over $77.57. 3% difference. Again, doesn't seem big. These little numbers don't seem big, but over time, it's definitely going to add up. Men's shoes, we're spending just a little bit more, 5% difference. It's about $116 for a pair of shoes. Out in California, it's about $110, right? Now, just to wrap up, because I think people are going to get numb to all the numbers here, we just hope you're enjoying some of the side-by-side comparisons. Just the rental stuff itself, a one-bedroom apartment in the city, we've talked about this before, here in Massachusetts, or here in Boston specifically. I was just talking to someone earlier today that is going to be relocating from the area and looking for a rental, and he said, Matt, I saw $2,500 for a one-bedroom. I said, yeah, the average is about $2,600. Out in California, that same apartment is about $2,200. So we have a 20% higher cost of renting at that same unit here in Massachusetts versus out in California, Los Angeles. Those numbers continue as far as outside the city. Remember, we talked about Boston itself, being close to the city. As you have urban sprawl and get further and further away, your rent's going to go down. That same apartment, you're looking at maybe $1,900 outside the city of Boston. Bigger gap as far as California. You're only spending about $1,700 out in Los Angeles for that one bedroom outside the city. Los Angeles is tough. I've been there before. So anyway, the another thing I thought was pretty interesting is the a 3-bedroom out in LA. Again, this is outside the city. It's about $3,000, and 3-bedroom out a little bit outside of Boston. It depends on what areas you're in, but those costs can range up to about $2,900. So we're always interested when someone wants to rent, because you can easily get into a mortgage without having to pay someone else's equity on their property. So, but that's to each his own. But we're here to help you out with whatever you need. Now, we always talk about, we're very proud Bostonians, and of course we think that we're better than everything as far as our cost of living and as far as our salaries and all that stuff, with egotistical maniacs, some of us. However, a monthly salary after taxes, its average is about $5,000 a month here in Boston, and then out in Los Angeles, it's about $4,500 a month, so about a 10% difference. What does all that mean? We could sit here, add up all the categories. Realistically, I think it really depends on where it is. I see the biggest difference as far as food is concerned, and I think I'm really stuck on the onions and how different it is. So the cities, when it's all said and done, we're pretty close. There's an index that we look at as far as the cost of living between the cities. And Boston actually comes up just a little bit shy of Los Angeles, where there's just a 6% differential. So it's pretty interesting, that we kind of have the snapshot, and I really wanted to dive into it just to go into some of the costs. And, you can start thinking about, okay, well, listen, if I'm going to, if I get a gym membership, I'm going to be spending more money, on that cost. So, all right, so we just highlighted some of the differences as far as the cost of living in Los Angeles versus Boston. Now, remember, if you're looking to come to the area, whether it's just to visit for a short amount of time, to rent a property, to buy a property, whatever you need, whatever questions you have, you're going to have questions, we're going to have answers. All you need to do is you can send us a text, you can send us an email, pick up the phone, give me a call. We're always here for you. When it comes to Massachusetts, we've got your back.